Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Tidbit Tuesday today. Today I wanted to talk about purpose. And this has been on my mind a lot lately. Just understanding, when big things happen, we sometimes wonder why or what is God trying to teach me or um, what do I need to learn from this? Okay. This past weekend, I was fortunate enough to attend a Kirk Duncan course called Master Your Influence. And I was really intrigued by this class because sometimes you just are curious about what kind of an influence you have on other people and how to really harness that and really make a difference in what you want to do, your mission, your purpose, and goals. Okay, so as I was there, they talked a lot about abundance and a lot about how abundance is really all around us. And sometimes we just stop ourselves from feeling abundance. Hi, Shannon. Sometimes we just stop the abundance flowing. And so I was like, okay, what am I doing wrong that I'm not receiving abundance to me the way I want to? Because I have all these hopes and dreams. Why is it just not coming? And so as I was there, I learned some skills, vision board skills, declaration, affirmation skills, to really get my creative juices going again. Because I kind of, the past few months have been a lot of fear-based mentality, a lot of scarcity mentality, a lot of, is there really enough to go around? Am I doing the right thing or am I messed up altogether? Is there some big thing I'm supposed to do? Or is it just little things I'm supposed to do? And so anyways, so that's been on my mind. And so then as I was trying to just keep the momentum going from this awesome class that I did and create my vision board, create my affirmations and on all those things and take it seriously for once, and just keep going at it. I also yesterday morning was listening to a podcast from Bob Heilig, and his topic was God doesn't create junk. Okay, and that's what leads me to this title of today, God doesn't create junk. And it stood out to me and I felt like I needed to listen to it. So I listened to it, and the whole base of it is that we each have a purpose. That God doesn't just create people just for the sake of creating people. That each of us were born into this world with a special divine purpose. That we all have a mission, and it's up to us to figure that out and fulfill it. And God gives us clues along the way and takes from our, he instills passions within us, passions that we have decided that he's like, I'm totally going to help you with that because that is so amazing. And you're going to change the world with that passion, with that fuel, with that hope you're bringing to the world. And then sometimes we get caught up in scarcity mentality and we hold ourselves in and we think, well, what are people going to say if I actually tell them what I want to do? Are they going to support me? Are they going to attack me? And we just can kind of curl in and stop that flow coming in. And that's what I've been doing the past few months is I have been literally stopping the flow of abundance coming toward me because I've been thinking in scarcity mentality. And I've just been doing the affirmations and vision board and all that stuff the past couple days. But I've noticed my creative juice is flowing again, and I'm starting to see a lot of possibilities. Even though I don't see the clear picture, a lot more possibilities coming and a lot of good coming my way. And so anyways, what I am excited to share with you today is a few things about this and then an essential oil protocol that might help us get into a place of being able to give and receive abundance more fully, okay? So as I was listening to the podcast, I was reminded of the miracles of Jesus, okay? If you remember in the New Testament, there were so many miracles he performed, and he wasn't always prepared for a lot of them, right? He didn't know that they were coming, but he always lived in this space of abundance, that there was enough for everybody, that what he was going to do in his mission would be good enough to change the entire world. He knew that, and he lived in this space of abundance and just almost magic with how much abundance he knew. Okay, good job. And so I just am so excited about this. I'm talking about this. So a few miracles he did was, in one instance, they needed wine for a wedding and didn't have it. They only had water. And what Jesus did was he believed in the abundance, and he chose to say, you know what? We'll make some magic here, right? We will use this abundance mentality, and we're going to use this abundance, and I'm going to perform this miracle. Okay. And then with the loaves and the fishes, he had 5 loaves and 2 fishes, and there were 5,000 people that he was supposed to feed, right? How do you do that? Well, he had this abundance mentality. Okay. In another instance, his disciples who were with him, they had kind of a scarcity mentality. And this is a really cool experience. So he was approached, there was a tax that needed to be paid, and none of them had the money to pay it. They had been going around preaching the gospel, and they didn't have the money to pay it. So what happened was Jesus said, you know, there's a way for this. And then he told his disciples, go catch a fish out of this water. Go catch a fish out of this water, cut it open, and you'll find exactly the amount you need in the stomach of this fish. And it was true. They went and they did what he told them to do, and they found the exact money they needed. Okay? Jesus works this way. Okay? Jesus is the master of abundance. It flows. And the reason is because, I bet there was a lot of things that made Jesus scared. I mean, holy heck. I mean, there were so many things he was confronted with that I'm like, oh, I'm so glad I don't have to deal with that. But he always believed in abundance. Hi, Gwen. Thanks for joining us. So how does that deal with us? Well, Jesus told his disciples that they needed to go and cut open this fish, and inside would be the exact amount they needed. He believed in this abundance. He allowed his apostles to do this so they could get that experience, so that they could realize how real abundance is, okay? And we call that a miracle. And then we think, well, it's not going to happen for us, right? But if we have a divine purpose and a mission, which we do, then God is going to totally fuel what we're doing when we're in alignment with him, okay? In fact, I'm going to share something very sacred with you. And so some of you know, my best friend passed away a couple weeks ago. And it was really, really hard for me. But fortunately, our hearts were so connected. And since she's passed, she's actually come to me and given me a message. And so this is really special to me. This is something I wouldn't just share with anybody, but part of this I feel like really applies to here. So she's on the other side, seeing the world right now in this whole different perspective, without the fear-based mentality on all this. And here's what she said. She said she knows about my goals and dreams and how big they are. And she said, don't worry about a thing. God never misses a beat. He really has every detail in his hands. And then I felt her sigh, like, come on. And she said, you just don't get it. If you only knew, you'd never worry about a thing. God naturally moves us where we are meant to be, to meet who we are meant to meet, and experience what we are called to in full and flawless perfection. We just add our own worry, anxiety, scarcity, and nervousness to the mix. Sometimes we miss out on the life lessons in the moment because we hyper-focus on a single detail. But eventually, in this life or the next, they come into focus and we learn. It is a beautiful thing. So she shared that with me as she's crossed over and she sees these things. And so that was kind of an aha moment for me, that I have my goals and my dreams, and then I insert worry and anxiety and fear and all these things. And it really, what fear does is it confronts us with the next step. Okay. And when we feed into fear, we lose that step. That step is always there, but that fear just keeps us from mounting that next step in our journey. So one of the things that I realized is that if you face your fear, you realize it really has no control over you. When you face your fear, you realize, oh, like that was just a feeling. But if you don't face your fear, if you hold off and say, oh, no, I just don't feel comfortable. No, that's not for me. It's too uncomfortable to be for me. And we push it off, then we're allowing that fear to eat us up, to keep us in the dark, to keep us in a dark place. And when we allow that fear to keep us in the dark, we don't mount to the next level. Okay, another interesting point I thought when it comes to fear-based thinking is, and this is going to sound harsh, but take it, let it soak, okay? So when we allow fear to rule in our hearts, what it does is it creates selfishness. And let me explain that. For example, let's say, imagine with me for a second that I never introduced doTERRA to you. Just pretend for a second that never happened. Imagine all the things in your life that would be missing if I hadn't entered your life or the life of one of your friends or family and said, here is something amazing. Imagine if I hadn't done that. I have so many times let my fear get in the way of sharing essential oils with people. Oh, they're not going to like it, or what, I don't have the experience I'm looking for them having, or what if it just doesn't work? Even though we know it works, right? We know it works for ourselves, but sometimes we let ourselves have those beliefs like, right? And then we stop ourselves. In fact, there was one lady who I was so nervous to call. It was somebody who I thought, she's way older than me, much wiser than me. She knows her stuff. Thanks, Debbie, for joining us. And she knows her stuff. She knows this awesome, she's so smart. Who am I to introduce her to essential oils? Maybe she already knows about them. Maybe she is going to, tell me all the reasons I'm wrong. And I had let this fear fester for a while. And then I said, you know what? I'll just call her. I'll just see. Okay. So I called her. Within 5 minutes of talking to her, I mentioned essential oils. And she said, you know what? I was just praying this morning for an answer to the pain I've been having. And I really believe you might be an answer to that prayer. That fear was such a lie. Okay. There will be sometimes that we kind of feel rejected by somebody. But fear is a lie. Fear holds no truth. We will never truly know unless we allow us to just show up with an attitude to make somebody's life better. Then if they reject it, that's their choice. But we have done our part. So that's why fear, when we allow fear to be within us, it creates selfishness. It's just, if I hadn't shared doTERRA with you or one of your loved ones, imagine how different your experiences would be. And I shared it, and I have shared it, and I continue to share it because I just see so many lives changing. When I get text messages and emails and Facebook messages on a weekly basis, almost on a daily basis, sharing the amazing experiences that people have had with a protocol I've given or something that they've discovered and found and has provided a small or big miracle for them, that makes my life so great. Thanks, Nancy, for joining us. So really, we just need to let go of that selfishness, and we need to let fear stop ruling us, because fear is a lie. There's no truth in fear, none whatsoever. And sometimes we let ourselves have this anxiety for so long that eventually, out of the blue, something happens and it confirms our anxiety. Oh, I knew that was going to happen. But do you know why it happened? Because it was in our mind. We were creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. But fear really has no weight to it unless we let it. Our choice to allow fear in and to affect us is our own choice. But fear has no power over us when we face it. When we face it, we realize how weak fear really is, okay? But it's up to us, right? It's a scary thing because I have a lot of fears. I'm right there with you. I have fears on a daily basis. What if this doesn't work? Or what if it does work? Right? So we have these fears, and we just need to embrace the good, show up to serve, show up with good intentions, and allow the abundance to flow, right? Stop blocking that with fear. Okay, so now I wanted to talk about, so one thing about fear that I wanted to mention is that we don't need to wait until the fear clears, because the fear will never clear unless we face it. That is the only way. Fear is like a dragon, and the dragon's going to fly around forever and ever and ever, okay, until we face it. Then when we face that dragon, we realize that was just a shadow. Like, that wasn't even a real dragon. But if we do not face it, if we pretend it's not there and run around and hide and, and stop ourselves from facing that dragon, we never know if really that dragon was actually a shadow pointing us in the direction we needed to go. So we don't need to wait until fear leaves. We need to just have the courage to face the fear and do what it is we're going to do anyway. Okay, this is a really scary thing for me, because let me tell you, I have this dream, this goal, this vision on my vision board that I want to create a wellness clinic for families, fertility, childcare, child wellness, family wellness, and kind of along those lines. Okay. And I want to create, I don't know if I'm going to build the building or if I'm going to find a building and use it. I don't know. Okay. But this is scary for me, because I'm like, okay, where are the funds to build this? I don't know how to run a place, all this stuff, like all these reasons why it won't work. But then I think about why I'm doing it. Because there are babies who need to be brought into this world who are powerful, intuitive, just amazing. Like, God is sending the coolest people down to earth right now. And because you're here. So God is like increasingly sending the best down. And I know, because my kids are amazing. And I can't wait to see what my grandkids are like, right? So these babies need to come. But there's so many health blocks. There's so many issues that are preventing women from having babies. So many fertility problems out there, okay? So I just imagine this wall in my center with all the babies that would not be born without the work that I'm doing. Okay. So I see this and I think, okay, I have a vision, right? Like, I can see it, but how do I do it? Okay. So fear is getting in the way. Today I'm meeting with somebody who's a nurse, and we're going to see if there's anything compatible today. Okay. So I'm like, fear, like I'm doing this, like I'm seriously doing this. I'm like so scared. Okay. So this is what I'm talking about. I'm facing these fears like crazy right now. Okay. So, but I have the courage, because I've decided I'm going to, okay. And I'm going to show you a protocol you can use to help just find that faith, that purpose, that focus, and facing that fear and receiving abundance. Okay, so this is going to kind of be like purpose and abundance together. Okay, because we deserve to have our purpose in our focus, and we deserve, and God is there, like, he's like waiting to just pour everything down on us. But if we're stopping that from happening, he can't give it to us. Okay, but we want him to give it to us. Okay, so I have this blend. Okay, this blend that I have that came to me. Okay. Okay, so here is the blend, and it just came to me this morning, so I need to look at my notes. Okay, I'm just going to take a 10 ml roller bottle. Okay, so 10 ml roller bottle, fractionated coconut oil, and then there are 4 oils. So 4 oils, it's going to be super simple. The first one is Elevation. Okay, Elevation, the joyful blend. Elevation helps to overcome feelings of despair and hopelessness. So when you're like, it can let go of lower vibrations that keep us down, and help us activate higher levels of consciousness and thinking. Okay, another thing I love about this is it can raise one's energy levels into higher vibrations to inspire feelings of cheerfulness, brightness, courage, relaxation, humor, playfulness, and fun. Like, how cool is that? Elevation is the best. Okay, so Elevation is the first one. The oils are Elevation. Let me get this in order. Ginger, Spikenard, and wild orange. Okay, so Elevation, ginger, Spikenard, wild orange. Okay, so what I'm going to do, okay, so we got 14 drops of Elevation in here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's okay. Okay, so 14 drops of Elevation, 5 to 6 drops of ginger. And this really just came to me this morning. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so 5 to 6 drops of ginger there. Ginger is the oil of empowerment. So it fuels us with individualized empowerment. It helps us, give us that empowerment, okay, which is amazing, okay? Spikenard is the oil of gratitude, and gratitude really opens up the door for abundance. Okay, it's the oil that Mary in the Bible, when Jesus was in the house of the lawyers and the Pharisees, she came and she anointed his feet and his head with spikenard, and the whole room was filled with the odor. That was spikenard. Okay, spikenard is the oil of gratitude. Like, it's the oil that just pushes gratitude throughout us, so that we can see the big picture, so we can think abundantly, so we can see what's coming, right? And that's part of it, is when we are in this scarcity mindset, we have no clue what's coming at us. We think it's all bad, but really there's more good than bad coming at us. But sometimes we just block it because we don't want to see it, right? We want to pretend this dragon is not there. Okay, so how many drops of spikenard? 9 drops of spikenard. Come on, Spikenard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. It's almost gone. That's why. Okay. So 9 drops of spikenard. And then the last one is wild orange. 10 drops of wild orange. Okay. So 10 drops of wild orange. Sheesh, my wild orange is almost gone. I'm going to be right back, okay? All right, my wild orange. Come here, wild orange. Where are you? There you are. Okay. So how many drops of wild orange was that? 10? 10 drops of wild orange? Okay, 10 drops of wild orange. Yep, okay, 10 drops. And wild orange is the oil of abundance, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oops, that was like 12, but that's okay. All right, so wild orange. Okay, let me tell you a little bit, okay? What does it do when all of these are combined together? It's amazing. Okay, so when these are all combined together, when they're all combined together, the elevation helps with releasing those feelings, those lower vibrations, fear, hopelessness. Well, it doesn't release fear, but it releases hopelessness and despair and things like that that really stop us from progressing. And yeah, so it releases that fear-based thinking that that we just don't deserve it, that we are not worthy, all those things. So that's the first and foremost important part, okay, is releasing that. And then we add the ginger, which empowers us, which gives us this empowerment. And then we have the spikenard, which reminds us of the abundance out there. And then we have, and to see the gratitude, okay? And then the wild orange is to help us get that abundance. Okay, so you can kind of see it's a little bit orangey, and then the spikenard at the bottom creates kind of a bluish, okay? All right, so once we're done with that, we fill up the rest of the bottle to the top, okay? So this is going to be our purpose and abundance oil. I'm excited to see what this smells like because it just came to me this morning and this is the first time I'm making it, okay? All right, so this is purpose and abundance oil. And then get your cap, your roller lid. Kind of a greenish, kind of a cool color. All right. Okay, get your roller lid, okay? And then the actual lid so that you can put it on later, okay? So here's what it looks like. Kind of a cool, actually it's kind of like a gold. It's my gold oil. Okay, it's kind of like a greenish gold. I love it. Okay, let me smell it because we're gonna smell it for the first time. Rolling it on my arms, okay? The inner arm is great because what it does, the inner arm totally helps. Ooh. Wow. Wow. What is that? I'm smelling a lot of ginger, okay? That's probably because even though ginger, we had the fewest drops for ginger, I think. I'm smelling it. My body's like, you need ginger. You need this extra empowerment. So since ginger stood out to me, I'm going to put it on my solar plexus because that is a digestive area. And it's also the area for creation and like really doing things with that creation. Okay. So that's what it's going on. I need this, obviously. I need like this digestive doing energy, like to really make it happen, willpower and stuff. And I can also put it right here on this cute little pendant. Okay. Okay, awesome. So here we go. So I have this oil and it literally is gold. So cool, huh? We have a gold oil now. We have frankincense, myrrh, and gold. Okay, so I love this. It's beautiful. It's like green when you look at it, but then when you look at it from far away, it looks gold. It's cool. Okay. Okay, so this is this oil, this new oil. Blend and feel free to use it. Okay, so let me give you the recipe one more time. Let me pick up the right journal. Okay. Okay. So, and I do use this journal on a regular basis. This is TJ Dixon's Creation Journal. You can buy it for $10 on Amazon. It's called Creation Journal. If you type in TJ Dixon Creation Journal, you'll be able to find it. What I love about this journal is every day you write the date, you write your intentions for the day, the gratitude coming into of everything good coming in your life, prayer, your prayer for the day, the divine help you're looking for that day, and the meditation or anything that comes to your mind, spiritual thoughts, inspiration, ideas, you can write there, okay? And I've been doing this for going on a year now, and oh my goodness, it has totally changed. It has given each day a purpose for me, and that's huge, because I used to live in a place where every day it was just get through the day, make the money I need to make, and hopefully survive, and everybody else doesn't get super sick, because that's going to be stressful. That was what my day looked like, okay? I started giving my day a purpose, and now what I'm doing is I'm using that purpose and now this oil to just help make this happen, okay? I have no clue how things are going to happen, but I wanted to leave you with one final thought, and that is to share what you came into the world to share, because everyone watching this video, everybody in this group, everybody on this planet has a purpose, and that purpose is so amazing. So amazing. This purpose, your purpose is just meant to change the world. And if we don't allow our purpose to shine forth, we're being selfish, right? Because there are people who need what we have. There are people who are looking and praying and searching for what we have. And if we don't share that, who will? Who will? You're the one who can only do what you can do. Nobody else can match up to what you are meant to bring into this world. You might think it's insignificant. You might think somebody else would do a better job, but I'm telling you what, if you feel it in your heart that there's something you need to do, somebody you need to share the oils with, even if you're terrified, somebody who just needs hope, even though they're not the type of person you would want to contact, go out and do it. Face that fear and realize really what's behind it. That it might just be an arrow pointing you in the direction that you are meant to go, and all along you thought it was a dragon flying around your head. That's why I invite you to do it. Just go for it. And let me know your successes. And anyways, I hope you have a wonderful day. Rewatch to the beginning if you missed the beginning of how God doesn't create junk. I am so excited to share this with you, and I felt like I needed to. Hopefully something resonated with you, and you have a wonderful Tuesday. Keep me posted. Let me know of your successes. I want to hear it, and I'll talk to you later.